What is going on, everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another live stream from the Millennial Motivation Entrepreneur YouTube channel. First and foremost, before we get going with today's little live stock market afternoon session, if you're new to the channel and tuning in for the first time, we'd love to have you here for future streams and future uploads. So definitely consider smashing that subscribe button below. Make sure to hit that bell icon right beside it. That way you'll be notified every time we go live or upload another video for you guys. I don't usually get to do too many live stock market streams for you guys, especially during summer months with the job and everything. But right now I'm currently out on a medical leave. Not going to get too into that right now, but it gives me some time to really focus on the markets a little bit, if nothing else. Hopefully everything else gets solved soon, but in the meantime, just focusing heavy on these markets. Love being able to trade and focus heavy on cash trade versus the overnight session. A lot of manipulation and stuff tends to happen in overnight trading. You have to really lower your tick size down quite a bit. And we'll be talking about why I recently switched to ticks versus the time frame. I still look at the time frame often just to get a broader look, and I'll pull the indicators such as RSI and MACD back up on like the 1 hour, 4 hour, and occasionally the 15-minute chart, and then of course the 1 day, just to get, like I said, a broader look at what potentially could go on from where we're currently at. But definitely happy to at least have a little bit of time to trade during cash open for a change and actually get to focus on my positions. And of course, with these live streams, if you all have any questions or anything whatsoever, periodically I'll be checking the chat. So if you have any stocks, if you have any questions about like futures, options, I mean, I've traded pretty much everything but Forex. So for sure, if you guys have any questions or anything, or like I said, any stocks or futures or anything you want me to take a look at, let me know. Of course, I'll never tell you guys specifically to invest. I'm not a financial advisor. I just give you guys my own honest opinion on whether I would buy, whether I would sell, whether I would just not even mess with something. But I will never tell you guys specifically, yes, you should invest in that. But for sure, if you have any questions, definitely shout it out there in chat. Like I said, we'll be checking that periodically. And just before we get going, I want to make sure we're up and going. It looks like we're doing good. And of course, if we have any stream issues, just let me know in the chat, and I will get those resolved for you guys. But take a broader look, pull back out real quick here. You can see on the 1 hour chart, we've had quite a good solid run up since, I'd say, early Friday when we had that brief drop. We tested our SMA line right along there. We do have a little bit of a bullish cross that occurred on Friday, and then obviously stocks just went up from there. And then we opened up Sunday, and we did have kind of some indecisiveness going on. Had some pretty decent selling volume actually for the beginning of that trading session, but like usual, they pretty much rallied it after about, I'd say, 2 to 3 a.m. Eastern time, and then from there they've just pretty much, without very much resistance, gone straight up. However, we have still not broken the high of the day. We did break it. We had one, so we can zoom in here, go to an actual today. So we actually had our high previously in the morning. We did break it once, however, we did not hold it very long whatsoever. Had a pretty bearish wick pop up there on that 5-minute chart, and then obviously we went down. We tested that 10,990 level, referring to the Nasdaq, of course. We tested that 10,990 level as a support, was a pretty solid resistance earlier on in the morning. Came down, tested 10,970, and then ultimately we ended up breaking through, of course. However, now the resistance area seems to be around this 1050 to 1065. I won't even say 65. See, we just made a new high actually. So bulls are taking control here the last few minutes apparently. But before, just a few minutes ago, the resistance level was starting to build around this 1050 or 11,050 to 11,055 area. However, take a look here at our 133 tick chart. Yeah, so bulls all of a sudden have just taken control. I exited my long way too early, actually. I exited my long, let's take a look here. We're actually down a little bit on the day because we had a bad trade. We have a bad trade on with MYM, but we're making it up with the Nasdaq. And then, of course, and I'll break down my positions here in a minute, but you can see I closed my most recent position incredibly too early. Got a good little 13-point scalp. We've pretty much been scalping throughout the day. You can see here we held it for a whopping 2 minutes. 13 points in 2 minutes, though. I'll take that any day of the week. Right here, 6 minutes. We placed a vertical call spread on QQQ to kind of hedge any longs that we are doing throughout the week. Again, we'll talk about those here more in a minute. Another one here. This was one of the longer ones, if I recall. Yeah, one of the longer ones, I think, of the day. Yeah, about 23 minutes. Another one that was 4 minutes. And you can add it up overall. Like our net profit loss going back to last night, we did actually have a loser. Let's see. Oh, it was yesterday, technically. That's why it's not showing up here. But we did have a loser to start the trading session Sunday night. And going forward, I'm probably not even going to short or go long on Sunday nights going forward. Just wait until early Monday morning, usually around 3 to 5 a.m. Central U.S. time, 4 to 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, just because the Sunday night price action, I mean, it can really whipsaw, and that's what happened to us. We dropped down, I forget the exact amount, somewhere around like 20 to 30 points. Did not have the best risk management there. We knew how much we were risking going into the trade. However, we were a little bit too bearish. Looking back, hindsight's always 20/20, of course, but overall we've made that up. We are now up somewhere around like 115 points net on the day after all these scalps, something like that. So not a bad day considering that we had a pretty bad start. And then, I mean, like I said, you can see that MYM, the Micro Mini Dow, which we're also kind of using on as a hedge. I don't really plan on closing this, to be honest. It's a September contract, so either way it'll be expiring here in the next month or so, roughly. But I'm mainly keeping that on simply because, again, when we go back and just take a look at the broader markets, we'll take a look at, we'll just do ES because it's kind of a split the difference. And we'll pull up the 1 year, 1 day. Actually, I want to pull up the 4 hour. So we pull up the 4 hour. I mean, it does show signs here that we could be breaking out. I mean, if this thing hits 3,300, then it could definitely ratchet up to maybe that 3,315 to 3,330 level. However, the markets, I mean, just over the last month or so, they're really looking for a reason. Like I said in a previous stream, they're looking for a reason to go higher, but they haven't really had legit reasoning to move higher. Now with earnings season, pretty much, I mean, we have some earnings still coming out, but the bulk of the majority of earnings are out now, and most of them beat pretty good. Now, there's a lot of talks about, now should we really even consider these earnings as a reason to buy, because we were already writing the earnings off as, hey, you know what, everybody's getting a pass, we'll take a look, but we're not going to really take it too serious one way or another. You got bulls who are saying, you know what, tech and everything just blew earnings out. We're going to all-time highs. We're going up to 3,400 is the next stop. But then you got the bears that are going, well, hold on now. You said if, like you all, referring to the bears, said that we're pretty much throwing earnings out this year until 2021. So why now that earnings, that estimates were cut in more than half for most companies? Of course they beat because the earnings and guidance were cut to next to nothing. Why are you using that as a reason to buy now when you were saying if the earnings were bad, we were just going to toss it out the window? So there's kind of a lot of, it depends who you talk to. You get 100 different answers on whether that's a legit reason to buy the market or not. Us personally, we just go with the trend. We can see here, I mean, we had that test obviously in June, had a pretty bullish wick right there for him, and then ever since, I mean, we've had these tests here and there. However, we have not tested this 200 SMA line in a while. We came close to it about 2 weeks ago roughly, and then ever since then we haven't came close again. Now we are close. What SMA do I have? 50. Yeah. We have been riding along that 50 SMA pretty much for the last month or so, in all honesty. It's held pretty well, but I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of on edge. That's why I have so many different bearish positions on at the moment, while my account actually isn't really moving too much. I mean, we're down roughly $50. We were down over 100 to $200. Like I said, we've kind of on some good scalps throughout the day, kind of salvaged the day, so to speak. But that's why we have so many bearish positions. Throw out this Apple one, by the way, because I placed this last week. It was just a hedge. The max loss potential is $120, so I'm essentially just holding it because you never know what happens at the end of the day, right? But this was ultimately a hedge against some Nasdaq future contracts that we were holding going into earnings. So we made quite a bit of money holding those Nasdaq futures throughout earnings on, what was it? I believe, was it Thursday afternoon? I don't remember off the top of my head, but we made some pretty good money on those. So, I mean, I could close this, but there's really no point because we're at the max loss essentially. So I might as well just let it expire. And if I can end up cutting this, who knows, in half or something because we get some random big drop in the next couple days, then I'll close it. But there's no point closing it. No point paying extra fees and commissions essentially. So just toss that one out. It was just a hedge to begin with. But like I said, today we did place a QQQ short call spread. We can take a look here at the calls that we did. We did the 275 and 279, so we have a 4-strike spread there. I believe the break even was at like 276.30. I don't recall off the top of my head. And if you're newer to options, I know a lot of you guys are newer to trading and whatnot. And like I said, of course, if you have any questions or anything, shout it out there in the chat. But for those of you that are like newer to trading, newer to options, all that a short vertical call spread is you're essentially buying a call and selling a call, or selling a call but buying a call to cover instead of doing a naked sell where like you would have to essentially have the 100 shares worth of capital on hand. All you do is it's called a poor man's call or whatever, essentially, where you're just covering it. That way you're risking a lot less capital. Like I think I took a screenshot actually. Let me see if I can get it pulled up for you guys here. Screenshots. I believe it was right here. So yeah, we placed this vertical call spread, so you can see our overall max loss overall is only $242. Dividend risk, we're not worried about that, but overall risk right around $242 minus your commissions, of course, and then your max profit 158. So our max profit is over 50-60% of our max loss. Now, we do not go in looking for the max profit. If it happens, cool, but 99% of the time I have only had my max profit. Actually, I've never reached max profit. I've come close. I've came within like $5 or $10 of hitting my max profit, but you're almost never. The only way you're going to hit max profit is if you hold it till your expiration, and I don't ever really suggest that. I mean, if you can, like if you have enough capital or it doesn't matter, like this trade is not taking enough of my portfolio where I really care. Like if I need to hold it or roll it, whatever, I'll do what I need to do. But usually we are looking to get out of these within a couple days, usually within one trading week on average. And we usually, again, use these as hedges for our long positions. So like I said, overall, pretty minimal risk. I mean, we're talking, less than right around 5% or so of our portfolio in this trade. And again, it's just to maybe try to collect some profit if we can on the downside, assuming that we're going to have some downside pressure, which is kind of what we're betting on, which is why I don't even have a single long open at the minute. I'm just more scalping longs in the meantime. But taking a look again at that overall broader market, you can see we got rejected, it looks like, at that 32.95 level. Let's see what the high is of the day. So we're still right up around the high of the day. So it'll be interesting to see how the last hour of trading goes, if they just rally it on through 3,300, which I would not be surprised with at all, or if they reject it right around this 3,300 level and send it lower. Let's see, let's get our RSI pulled up here. Get our MACD pulled up as well. I don't have these pulled up usually whenever I'm scalping, just because they really don't do me any good. I'm looking more so at volume whenever I'm scalping. So we'll look at 15 minute and then we'll look at the 1 hour here in a second. So 15-minute chart's kind of conflicted. It shows we could really go either way, so I'm not really going to take that too much into account. 1 hour chart, and also keep in mind I did move my RSI level up to 80 for overbought, and usually it's at 70. So I mean, it is getting close to kind of an overbought area on the 1 hour chart. MACD isn't necessarily too super overextended or anything, so I wouldn't be surprised still if they do run this up, to be honest. Going into the close, 4 hour chart is only at a 62 on the RSI. MACD is a little bit more stretched, but volume's looking good for buying. Yeah, I am kind of leaning towards that they're going to rally this into the close. I haven't taken a look at the broader view since earlier this morning. Let's see how the Nasdaq 4 hour is hovering around 66, 67, so it's got plenty of room to run. I actually want to take a look because it's dropped a little bit. We might actually place a scalp on this. So we'll go over to the micro, the MNQ is what we trade. We'll pull up the 133 tick. Okay, so yeah, we've had a nice little almost 20-point drop roughly. So let's see. However, it does keep getting rejected, so we want to, it'll probably, so what do we know about stocks, of course? Just basic trading 101. Old resistances that get crushed usually become what? New support level. So we're right around the potential new support level. I want to see if it holds. If it holds here, let's go ahead and get a buy order going. Because I'm leaning towards that it's gonna go up from here. So what I want to see now is a bounce, and then I want to see it pull back a little at some point. It can go ahead and test 62, 63 if it wants, but I want to see it pull back a little bit, bounce off like 55 roughly, and then I'd probably hop in with a price target of the high of the day. So we'll see what happens here over the next minute or two. See if we got any questions. No questions or anything so far. And like I said, if you're new to the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button below. We'd love to have you here for future videos. And smash that bell icon too. That way you won't miss any of those live streams or uploads or anything like that. And if you're enjoying the stream, definitely smash that thumbs up button. It greatly helps the channel out, and I greatly appreciate it. And if you don't, then hit the thumbs down. I'm always looking to learn and do better quality content for you guys. So let's see here. Probably going to go ahead and buy somewhere around here. Honestly, I mean, it's a little high for my liking, but we're just scalping. Like I said, just scalp after scalp after scalp. So starting to push up. Might have missed my entry. I saw that wick. I was going to get in at 59. It's already up 5 points. So, yeah, I probably missed the scalp. Unless if it pulls back here to around 61, I might hop in. Let's see. 60 to 61, hopefully. Let me take a look back. Yeah. And if it goes against me, it's not the end of the world. I'm okay with holding it. That's why I'm only trading like one micro at a time. That way if I happen to, I don't necessarily try to time the market too often. It's next to impossible to do anyways. But if a contract goes against me, then I'll just, when it comes to going long, I'll just average down more times than not. Shorts, I don't really add to very often. Just because, look at the track record of the market. It always, always, always goes up over time. So it's probably going to hold this level and go on up. However, just not enough risk reward there for me. My target was going to be right around the high of the day. 1175 was kind of what I was looking for. If I could have got in around 58 to 60. Yeah, just not enough risk reward there for me now. Right up around here, you're only talking, I mean, you're talking 10 to 12 points, still 13 currently, if it even goes up there. But it could definitely fall 12 to 13 points too. So it's only a 1-to-1 really risk reward ratio from a scalping standpoint. So I think I'll leave it alone for now, but I would not be surprised. Set some alerts. And we'll just see what happens. See how the Dow is doing. Dow has actually been, I'm shocked at how well the Dow has done today after how much it's been underperforming, I should say, not outperforming, underperforming over the last, few months, in all honesty. But Dow's doing pretty good today. I think it's up more than the S&P. S&P is up 0.93. Dow is up 1%. So just a little bit. But what I'm referring to, though, go ahead and get that out of there. What I'm referring to, though, is you can see overall, I mean, we haven't even had a cross yet on the Dow, which is another case for the bulls even. The bulls could be saying, hey, the Dow hasn't even really joined in on the party yet. We have some pretty bullish wicks here that are indicating that the Dow may be getting ready to break out. However, the Dow has still not taken out the June high of 27, what was it, like 27,550 or so roughly. Only about 180 points or so from there. So that's something that the bulls could point to as well. I really should have entered that trade. I'm kind of kicking myself for that one. Honestly, it's a lot different when you're sitting here trying to narrate it versus like you're completely zoned in, focused, no type of distraction or anything. Yeah, it's probably getting ready to shoot up now. But let's see. Any questions or anything? Still nothing from y'all. Hopefully the stream quality is doing alright. I see we got 3 of you tuning in. Like I said, guys, if you all have any questions, any stocks, or anything you want me to take a look at, just let me know in that chat. I will never tell you what to invest in or if you should invest in, but I'll let you know kind of just my honest opinion and whether I would invest in it with my own money. But let's see. So we got gold still around 2,000. Gold actually had a pretty solid dump earlier this morning. I saw it was down around 1975 and almost hopped in. Gold, I don't have a good track record with gold in all honesty. I mean, I think I'm net up on the year trading gold, but my last gold trade kind of smacked me around a little bit. I closed it down like $50 or so. Funny thing is if I had held, I would have actually been up 25 points, which is $250, but I wasn't trying to hold it forever, so. But I almost hopped in around 75, 77 when it started pushing up, but I was so focused on the Nasdaq that by the time I looked at gold again, it was already in the 80s, so I was like, nope, not chasing it. So we still got 3 minutes until the last hour. I'm really anxious to see kind of what happens once we roll over 3 p.m. Eastern. If it kind of pops up a little bit or if it dumps. Looking also, keep in mind we could have a potential double top form here near the high of the day. We've seen quite a few double tops form throughout today. You can see double top here. Boom, we dropped from the high. What was that, 57? We dropped about 30 to 40 points right there. Not necessarily a double top here, but you did have a little rejection. Dropped another like 30 points. Been a lot of rejections today, but like we said, I mean, old resistances likely to become what, new supports. It was a support here, even up here, and then we came down, retested, failed once, but retested the meat of the area, so to speak, that 50 level, and bounced right off it pretty hard. Now 17 points. So if we had got in, I was looking to get in, like I said, at 58 to 60, we'd have been up roughly 8 to 12 points so far. It's still going, so I would have held it, let it rip. And like I said, target was going to be right around the high of the day, if not 1175. However, if it showed signs of weakness, like a top starting to form, kind of like how you saw the price action up here, where you had a few bars in a row of just no real movement. You did make a high, but no real movement. Once you got the confirmed bearish wick, go ahead and just hop out. Like, let's see, we might be having it form here. Not yet, but we'll see. We might not even place another trade, in all honesty, unless if this thing pulls back a little bit. And I mean pullback, not just a scalper's pullback. I mean, unless if we have a solid pullback to around that 50 level again at the minimum. Maybe even I'd really like to see this 42 to 43 level again. If we can for sure like get down here to this 42, 43 level, what I will probably do is go ahead and put a long on at the close. That way, just because I do not like holding nothing but bearish positions, I'm generally long the market. Whenever I tend to be more short the market is when my account tends to be down on the day. The fact that we're only down around 50, 60 bucks is actually, like I said, pretty good, because we were down at one point, I don't remember the exact amount, somewhere around like 50 to 100 bucks on the Nasdaq after that horrible first trade we had Sunday night. This was actually down somewhere around like 220, I think, earlier on. Yeah, our account was not looking too good earlier this morning, but like I said, we just slowly kind of clawed back. That's the thing, is you can't let your psychology get the best of you. Like, I mean, I've seen my account down $2,000 in one day. Now, I mean, I'm playing with 14 to, depending on if I buy stock or whatever, 14 to 26. 14 to 28, because you double the buying power. It's just because I have positions that it's not full, but $14 to $28,000. So I mean, the more you scale up, the more tolerance you build psychologically to being able to stand. Like some of you guys, you might not even be able to stand looking at $160 loss. Like for me, it's just a hedge. Like I'm not worried about it. $118 loss, it's a hedge. I'm not worried about it. I mean, we hopped on TD Ameritrade, in late February, early March. Year to date, I mean, we've kind of stagnated. We're hovering right around 3,000 now for the last 3 or 4 trading sessions. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I'm out of work on medical leave right now. I have some head issues going on. I actually have to get an MRI and some other stuff done tomorrow, so praying for nothing too serious going on. But last few trading sessions we've been kind of stagnated, but I mean, we've been down on this portfolio somewhere around 750 at the worst, and we've been at a high of 3,100. But we have had days where we were down $1,000 to $2,000, and I'll tell you, I mean, it tested me. It tested my psychology. But the more you build your account, I didn't start with a $14,000 account. I started, like, if you go all the way back to the beginning of my videos, starting to get a pullback here. If you go back to my older videos, you'll see, I mean, I've traded with as little as like $200 or $300. I mean, I started with very, very little amount of money, like all the rest of you. And you just got to start somewhere, and just do not gamble it away. So many guys get stuck thinking Forex or option, I like options. I mean, don't get me wrong, I got options on right now. Like, obviously, like I said, this is trash, don't even look at it, but I like options. I got 2 options on right now, but they are vertical spreads. Vertical spreads are the only options 99% of the time, unless if I'm throwing on just a little hedge that I know my risk and what my reward potential is. For the most part, I just do vertical spreads, because usually your potential for profit is somewhere around 69 to 75%. You can even get upwards towards 80. However, once you get that high, usually your profit is, the profit available is such a little amount that it's not really worth it. And if you guys want, I can do a video sometime, and we can even do an example here in a minute of just a vertical spread that I would throw on, why I would throw it on. I'll probably do like a whole video about that sometime, but we can go ahead and do it here in just a minute. I'm just keeping an eye on the market. We might double bottom here right around this 53 level. So, however, there is a new downward trend starting to form. We got rejected before the high of the day, so it's actually probably a good thing I didn't even get in that trade. Still would have been about 10 points depending on where I got in, but once I would have sold, which would have probably been that 65 level, it just wouldn't be worth it. I would only make a few bucks after fees and commissions. Let's see. So the only thing that worries me now is we might get a little bit of a bearish cross here, which if that happens, that's why I was kind of looking back here, was to see when our last cross was and kind of what type of price action happened from there. You might see somewhat of a test up to that 61 level, but it's looking like they might try to drag it down into the close. So if that happens, I'm pretty bearish for tomorrow. But like I said, if they can pull it down to this 52 to 43 level and bounce it pretty hard from there, I'll probably go ahead and throw a long on somewhere in this area. So that's why I got these alerts set. So we'll just keep an eye on it. Like I said, expect it to probably come up here and test this, but we're not going to scalp it right now. So let's take a look, since I was talking about those options. Take a look at the Qs, which is what, or we'll do SPY, because I know most people that trade options trade SPY. And we'll see if you all have any questions so far. No questions still. You all are shy. I know we only got like 3 or 4 of you in here, but like I said, man, if you all have any questions, we got 5 of you in here. If you have any questions, any stocks, anything like that, don't be shy. Don't be scared to be the first one. Throw it out there. You can't learn. There's no such thing as a stupid question. That is one thing I learned when it comes to stocks. There's no such thing as a stupid question. The only stupid question is the question that is unasked. Of course, now it starts to break down. Go back here real quick. Feels like a top might be forming, but I thought the same thing this morning, and they walked it up, so we'll see. Let's go back to our tick chart real quick. Whole bunch of craziness going on. Sorry, I forgot to mute my phone. It's always delayed. So we got our cross here, so I expect a little bit more selling to go. I'll go ahead and set an alert in case if it starts to try to make a run up. We'll do 65. Yeah, that's good for now. Okay, so we'll go back to SPY, and I'll just show you guys a breakdown, just show you guys kind of what I mean, because I know a lot of you guys are going to be looking to trade options, and I just want you guys to avoid what I did, because I thought I was hot shit. I was scalping far out of the money SPY options, which I even had videos. Go back and look at them. You'll see, I mean, I made some good money. There were days where I made hundreds of dollars in like just a couple minutes, and that's what a lot of these bullshit YouTubers on YouTube that are going to try to sell you a course, try to sell you a Discord, which by the way, ours is totally free. We have over 200 of you in there now. I'm the one that posts the most primarily in there, links and stuff for you guys, but we have over like 200 members in there. It's free. I don't try to sell you guys anything. This is just me documenting pretty much my financial journey, in all honesty, because I went from almost bankrupt at 18, 19 years old to now 23, kind of getting life together and just figuring out how to make my money work for me, so to speak. So I'm just kind of using YouTube to document it and just show people what not to do more than anything. Learn from my mistakes. That way you don't got to duplicate them. But what we'll do is we'll go over here to the trade tab, and we're trading SPY. So what we'll do, we don't want to look at our current position. So what we tend to do for these positions, and the beautiful thing about this, these do not take a lot of money. Don't think that these take a lot of money, because what we're doing is yes, we're going out usually about a month, usually 3 to 4 weeks. So like right now, this is about 4 weeks out for expiration, which is the date we're playing right now. And SPY, since it's up, and since we're kind of bearish in the short term, we're not bearish long term. Long term, we're long the market, of course. But short term, we are bearish. At least I am. If you're not, then I would not suggest doing a short put spread, which we'll talk about in a minute. But what we're looking at doing is a short call spread. So what a short call spread is, so you have calls and you have puts. I'm just starting from the basics for those of you that are new. Calls, you're essentially saying the market's going up if you're just simply buying a call. Now, a put, you're saying that you're pretty much shorting the market. You're saying that you're thinking the market's going to go down. I do not suggest just buying puts or just buying calls pretty much ever. If you do, make the trade less than 5% of your total portfolio. Make it such a small trade that if it just gets burned up, like if you can afford to just set that money on fire essentially, because as you can see, like I said, go back to that position of mine in Apple. It's going to end up, the max loss was 120. We're pretty much there. I knew that money was probably going to get set on fire. I placed that going into earnings, again, as a hedge against my Nasdaq longs. In case if earnings disappointed, this thing was going to shoot up crazy amount, probably a couple $100, and it would have offset my losses in the short term on the Nasdaq. So I knew going in that this is probably going to get burned up, so it's no big deal. And that's how you have to go into just trading, just a straight up call and put, not options in general. But if you're just buying a call and a put, know that there's a good chance you're going to lose, because the maximum potential for profit on just a naked call or put is only 33%. 33%. Usually the average option buyer who's buying a put and a call, their average potential for profit is usually 21%. Where on earth is 21% going to make your account grow over time? It's not going to happen. So with that, what we like to do is what's called a vertical spread. As you see here, so you can do single, like we said, we're just buying a call and put. We're not going to get into all this iron condor or anything right now. We're just going to just focus on vertical spread, which again, a vertical spread, you're pretty much, so it's kind of reversed essentially when you're doing a short vertical spread. So with a short vertical spread, you are selling the vertical spread. You're not buying the vertical spread, or else it'd be a long vertical spread. So if you had a long vertical call spread, that would mean you're long the market. If you had a long vertical put spread, you're short the market. Neither of which, I never long them. I short them instead. I like to collect premium. So what we do is, if we're bearish on the market, we do a short call spread. And what we tend to do is, depending on how volatile the market is, which right now, I mean, it's kind of volatile, but it's not crazy volatile. What we are going to do, let's see, we're around 329, 330. What we're going to do is we're going to go out to the 335, which we'll edit this a little bit, but we're going to sell the, make sure they have this set up right. Okay. So we're gonna do, what you do is it starts you out at 335. It only starts you out at a 1 spread difference. What we like to do a lot of times is usually go out between 3 to 5. And again, you can just play around with it based on how much money you want to risk on an option, etc. Options in general, I do not like to risk more than roughly, it's hard for smaller accounts, but if possible, like say you have over 1 to 5,000 in your account, try to keep it no more than 8 to 15%. For smaller accounts, I know that's going to be hard. Your accounts are like $500. Obviously, I mean, if you're placing a trade where the max loss is $200 or $150, obviously it's going to be, of course it's breaking down now. It's going to, it's going to be a little bit more on your portfolio. So keep that in kind of a retrospect. So market's actually kind of really breaking down right now. So we got our alert set at 24. I'm going to set one more alert and then we'll get back to that option. But I just try to keep options as a very, very, very small portion of my portfolio. That's just from my own experience. So we'll go back here into this trade now. And again, say that we're short the market, which the market is falling at the moment. Like I said, we usually want to do a minimum of 3 strikes. So let's just say 335 to 338. So you're going to be collecting a credit whenever you're selling the option, which means that's your max profit. You know what your max profit is, you know what your max loss is. So you can see our break even 336.16. So that means if by expiration this came up to around 336.16, or stayed below it, that's what you want. If it stays below 336, essentially is what we'll call it, you would collect full premium of $116. Now, we do not like to hold these till expiration, because why would you want to hold this for 25 days? Because it's August 3rd right now. Why would you want to hold this for 4 weeks just for 116 bucks? I mean, it's like 20 bucks a week. I mean, if you have a smaller account, then by all means, I mean, that's good growth in a month. $500 account, that's 20% in 1 month. So don't get me wrong. I mean, if you need to hold it, go ahead and hold it. But we are usually looking to cover around 40 to 50%, sometimes even 25 if we think the market's about to whip up, whip to the upside in this case, since we're bearish. But so our target profit here would be on a 25%, somewhere around 30, 35 bucks. Minimum to a maximum of probably 60 bucks is what we're looking at. So you look at the risk reward, say you get 50 bucks off of a $184 investment, you're still looking around what, little over 25, between 25 and 30% roughly return on your investment. And again, we're usually looking to get out of these in a week. So that's why I like these. And again, it's simple, guys. You're just with a short call spread. Again, it's bearish. So you're with your spread that you set up here, 335 to 338. Most people think 335 is your break even. No, 336. It'll tell you what your break even is. So let's just call it 336 is your break even. So that means SPY over the period of 4 weeks could move up $5, $6. And guess what? If it doesn't go past that 336 level by the 28th, it doesn't matter. You're going to collect all that premium minus your little bit of commission. Markets are really starting to break down now. But, yeah, hopefully that kind of sums it up. These are the only ones that I suggest anybody trade. But like I said, you can obviously do calls, puts. There's all different kinds you can do. But to me, like I've had the most success with vertical spreads personally. So take it for what you will. If you had placed a vertical spread, for example, near the high of the day, we're up now $5 on our QQQ, and it is falling. Woo. Let's go take a look. So we're actually back to break even essentially on the day. So the market is falling quickly. Take a look here. We might get a quick scalp. I don't know if I want to scalp this bad boy right now, because we are breaking through every next support. You might see a support right around 1110. I don't know why the hell it bounced at 1117. There must be a Fibonacci level there. Let's take a look. I like using investing.com to keep up with your supports and resistance levels. So let's see. We're on the 1 hour, so 1153, 1137. Nothing's really pointing towards 1117. That's the hourly. Let's look at the 15-minute. This crap out of here. So Fibonacci support 3 was around 1118 on the 15. So that could explain that quick little pop off that level. Resistance would probably be right around this level, so we'll see what happens here. But expect this to be, again, old support will be what, a new resistance level. So be kind of interesting to see. I'm almost tempted to long here. Try to get a scalp if it can bounce. Let's go ahead and get it set up just in case. You might go ahead and try to bounce it up to 50 again. Don't know why. We'll keep an eye on it. Bearish wick there. Might continue on down, but it's hard to say. We did come close, pretty much oversold. Yeah, this is going to kind of be the battle area for the meantime, right around this 30 to 35 level. See if we got any questions from them. Still no questions. Ooh, this is kind of such a sticky area. I almost want to try it out and go long here, but like I said, I'm kind of bearish on the market at the minute. I think we have way more downside potential than upside potential, which is playing out right now. So I'm glad I did not go long. Now they might bounce it here, so we'll see. But I don't know. I do not got a good feeling about this going into close. We'll see though. I mean, we are kind of breaking out, so I mean, it could really go either way. This week in general could really go either way, so definitely trade accordingly. That's why, I mean, I don't have heavy positions on. I got some bearish positions on at the moment, but my longs, I mean, I'm super quick at taking my longs off right now, just because, I mean, we're close to all-time highs. We're like 40 to 60% off of the lows. I think Nasdaq now is like 65+% off the lows, so you gotta trade a little cautiously, of course, especially if you're going long up here. Because now that we're pretty much through earnings season, there's not a whole lot, unless if we get some stimulus news or something. And even then, I think the stimulus news is going to be a sell the event, buy the rumor, sell the event type of thing. Man, we actually did fall all the way to 15. So yeah, overall, not a whole lot of movement going on in our portfolio. We were right around break even when this fell all the way down to that 15 level. We're still not too. Like I said, we've had a hell of a comeback today. We were kind of fighting from a hole. After a bad trade late last night, but we've had like 10 to 20 point scalps like 5 times today, so that really helped us quite a bit. So they're trying to hold this 50 SMA line here, so I don't know, kind of cautiously optimistic. Downtrend is still intact though. I mean, be interesting to see what's probably going to happen here is you got a nice little double bottom formed, and now they'll probably rally it on up through the high of the day at the close. Seen them do that so many times. So what I might do is we'll watch it here. We might be careful of a double top potentially too, but assuming it doesn't go down and breach this 18 level, we might try to go long here. Not right here, but we might try to go long around that 50. If it gives it to us. It might not. It might just start to staircase on back up, it looks like. So we've missed 1 or 2 opportunities over the last hour, but still not a horrible day. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. A little bearish wick right there. Let's see, let's delete this. And like I said, that 1117 level must have been what held. We briefly went below that. We dropped to like 1115, but that 15-minute support 3 level on the Fibonacci apparently is what saved us. Now we're battling right around that 36 to 40 area. 48 would be the pivot on the 15-minute. Let's see. Hourly, let's see, 1153. So yeah, they might, like I said, walk it up to 1150 again. At that point, it might get rejected, but bulls are looking good again so far, so who knows? We'll just see. I'm not gonna. It's too high now for me to want to try to scalp it. We got a max reward again of only about 10 points or so, probably, before it tries to go down further. The time to buy was right around this 28 level. We'd have had 13 points, 14 points now so far if we had just pulled the trigger. 15, so with a max reward of about 25, so 25 points to 11, so about a 2.5 risk reward ratio. That was a better setup. We should have bought right there, and honestly, I probably would have went ahead and sold it right here, just because you're gonna have some resistance at that 200. Probably see it retest this, bounce, probably get a bullish cross, and then guess what? They'll probably walk it up into close. So we'll see how that plays out. Hell, it might just not even have a resistance, but we'll see how it plays out. Like I said, hopefully you guys did enjoy the stream. If you did, definitely smash that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate that. It helps the channel out a lot. And like I said, hopefully you guys got to see all of the options little tutorial that I did about just SPY options, where we were talking about the vertical spread options. If you didn't, it was probably, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes ago, so you could just rewind it. I don't know how they do it on live stream, so you could just rewind it, or when this video, this live stream uploads to YouTube, you could watch it as well. And like I said, if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button, smash the bell icon right beside it. That way you'll be notified every time we go live or upload another video. We have like 400 videos now on the channel. We have somewhere around 1,100 of you here now. And like I said, we also have that totally free Discord group chat with over 200 members now. We don't sell anything to you guys over here. It's just me, just a one-man show. I don't have a crew or any stupid shit like that. I mean, it's just, like I said, I'm just documenting my own little journey here, just so you guys can learn from my mistakes and not make the same ones. So if you're into trading, into just trying to achieve financial freedom and whatnot, we'd love to have you here. We'd love to have you in that chat. But I think I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'm going to try to get another scalp or two, because we're starting to pick up here the last half hour or so of trading. I'll keep you guys updated in Discord, of course. Like I said, I'm in there. I'm the one that's pretty much posting like 90% of stuff, and I pretty much post every scalp that I do, every mess up that happens. I post everything in there for you guys, so love to have you there. But hopefully you guys, like I said, enjoy the stream. Smash the thumbs up button, subscribe. My social media is down below if you want to reach out to me through there, but definitely Discord by far is the easiest way to get a hold of me. I also post most of my just like profit loss and all that on the day on Twitter. But that's pretty much it. Until next time, guys, keep on going out there, make your profits, cover your profits, achieving your financial freedom this year. And I'll see you guys in the next stream. Take it easy, guys.